Alright, hello guys and welcome to a new video. So today I'm going to be showing you how I do my go-to sort of makeup. It's pretty simple, very bronzed, neutral. Yeah, just pretty simple. It's my simple go-to makeup, if you will. So yeah, if you want to see how I get it, keep on watching. Alright, so I've already done all my morning skincare, and because it's daytime, I'm going to start off with sunscreen. So I just use the Mecca to Save Face sunscreen, and I just like to put this all over my face and my ears. Now that very important step's done, I'm going to go in with my Hourglass number 28 primer serum and pop that everywhere. I love all of the Hourglass primers because they actually make the rest of your makeup waterproof. They're really good throughout the day because if it's humid outside, you won't be able to tell because your makeup's going to stay in place. Really fun fact. So I have quite dry skin, so I opt for the primer serum rather than just the veil primer because it leaves your skin really nice and supple. Yeah, supple for the rest of your makeup, and it really holds in the moisture. Really nice. Alright, so I actually like to use two different primers. So I'll start off with an all over one to hold on my foundation, act as a little guard between my moisturizer and the rest of my makeup. But then I go in with like a blurring and pore minimizing one. So I just like to use the TATCHA Silk Canvas and just push that into the pores around my T-zone. Okay, so now that I've got my base done, I'm going to go in with just a little bit of cream highlighter. This one's nearly out, but it's the Clinique Chubby Stick in the highlight shade. And I'll just put that on my finger and tap it onto the high points of my cheek, just for a little bit of a glow through my foundation. All right, so the foundation that I'm going to go in with today is my NARS Natural Radiant Longwear foundation. I'm in the shade Santa Fe when I'm fake tanned. I'll just put it on my little tile and dot it across my face. I'm just going to take my Morphe buffing brush. So this morning I washed my hair, which is why it's all nice and fluffy, and I tried that new Monday hair care line, the one with the pretty pink packaging. I just keep seeing it all over Instagram. I don't know if it's because they're like promotions, but I saw them and there was like one left on the shelf, so I was like, it's a sign, I'm gonna try it. And I actually really like it. I'm not too sure how good the ingredients are. I know that there is a silicone in it, which isn't that great for our hair, but it was quite far down the ingredient list. So yeah, actually I really liked how my hair's dried with it. I bought it, I'm gonna see how it goes. So far I like it. Now it's all nicely blended into the skin, I'm gonna take my Tarte Shape Tape. I don't know how people do like triangles and multiple dips of it. It's the most full coverage concealer. So I just like to use it just under the eyes and bring it up onto the eyelid as a bit of an eyeshadow base, just to knock out any of this coloring. I'm just using my JUNO Microfibre sponge. They're like $10 from Mecca, or $11 I think they are now. Or maybe 10, I'm not sure. And they are so good compared to the Beauty Blender. I actually prefer it a lot more. Really easy to work with. They fluff up a lot and it doesn't hold a lot of the product. It keeps it on your face. So I would definitely recommend these because you do need to replace your sponges quite often. They're a really cost-effective option. Now that I'm looking all nice in one color, I'm gonna go in with my Mercier translucent powder. I just grab a little bit in the lid, so I'm not baking, but I just like to push it into the skin to really set the concealer. Bring it up onto the eyelids gently with whatever's left on the sponge. All right, so I'm just gonna let my base dry while I'm doing my eyebrows, just so that when I put powders on, it's not as tacky. So I'm just gonna take a spoolie and brush up my eyebrows. And I'm just gonna take a little angled brush and my Anastasia Brow Pomade in the shade Taupe. So when I'm doing my brows, I really like to focus the product on the tips of my brow to give that part the defined shape. And then with whatever's left on the brush, I'll just run it through the front and just in sort of upwards motions, so it's a little bit more natural looking. I feel like everyone went through a stage when we were younger where like you had to have carved brows, and because I'm quite pale and I have fairly dark brows, I still look like, oh, I can't even tell you. But yes, I've definitely moved on from that stage and go for a much more softer and natural brow and don't really do all that much. Then I'm just gonna grab my spoolie and just brush through that product to keep it really nice and natural looking. All right, so I'm just gonna brush them through again. And now that I've just filled in my eyebrows, I'm gonna take my Anastasia the clear brow gel and just brush through them to set them in place. Okay, so now that I've got my brows done, I'm just gonna move on to eyeshadow quickly. So on a daily basis, I will wear eyeshadow just because I think, you know, if you've gone to all the trouble of the base and everything else, you might as well just, why not, you know? Switch between what palette I use. Sometimes I just use bronzer, but today I'm gonna use my Modern Renaissance palette. I know, so old. This one through the crease. So I like to tilt my head backwards and just put it underneath the brow bone. Got Raw Sienna and Rilgar, but I'm just gonna pop that really nice and tightly in that crease and not blending it out too high. You'd think they're in my backyard, they're that loud. Now that I've got the color that I want down, I'm just gonna go in with a clean brush. This one's Zoeva. Just gonna blend out edges to make it look really nice and seamless. I'm just gonna take that first crease shade and bring it underneath for a little bit of dimension. That was way too much. Now I look like a raccoon. Okay, and I'm just gonna take a little flat shader brush and go in with a lighter shade. Just pack that on my inner third of the lid. Same on the other side, just really messily. And just go back in with the Coralista brush and just blend that out to soften it a bit. Okay, and I'm just gonna take this incy wincy little brush and take the shade Primavera and pop it on my inner corner. Primavera on my inner corner. Then just taking a bigger angled brush, I'm just going to lightly put that along my brow bone. Okay, so now I'm going to take my brown eyeliner. This one's from Urban Decay in the shade Whiskey, which is clearly been a favorite. And I'm just going to tightline my upper lash line. I feel like when I do this, it makes my eyelashes look a lot more full and long because it's giving the base a little bit more depth. Alright, so before I do mascara, I know I look like a bit of a crackhead at the moment. Crackhead check. I'm just going to do some bronzer and blush and highlight and just finish up the base. Okay, so I'm going in with my Mercier. What is this? A Candleglow in the shade 4. And I'll just take a big angled brush and just tap that along my cheeks. It's got a bit of a sheen to it, so it just gives a little bit of a glow to the skin. Because this is only slightly darker than my foundation, it just brings back a little bit more of natural shading to your face. So this one. And then I just take my Too Faced Chocolate Soleil bronzer in the original shade and just sort of add a little bit of depth to where I just put the other one. And then I'll just take a more defined brush, lightly bring that down my nose. Alright, so for my third bronzer, I know how many more can I fit on my face. Don't you worry, there's more. Just going to lightly take some Hoola bronzer. And then if I'm feeling like I want a bit more of a glow, I'm going to go in with my MAC Gold Deposit and just lightly sweep my cheeks, and that just sort of blends it all together and warms up the bronzers. Then I'm just going to take Coralista from Benefit and just tap on my blush. Thank God I'm inside. Would have been arrested for that. And then I'm just going to tap that blush. I love blush. I'm a slut for blush. Slush for blush. I don't know. And I'm just going to tap that on my cheeks and sort of blend it in with the bronzer. I always find that there's like one part of my cheek, you won't be able to see it, but I can see it, that never holds pigment. It's so weird. I don't know what it's from, but gives me the shit. Whatever's left on the brush, I'll just lightly bring that up across my nose to tie all of it in together. I'm just gonna take my Morphe Continuous Setting Spray and just do that. And then I'm gonna go in with my Glam Glow highlighting trio. Actually really pretty. I just take the lightest two shades, sort of mix them together and really lightly pop it on the high points, and then I'll just take a little bit on the tip of my finger and tap that onto this little tip here. Again, just popping a little bit on my Cupid's bow. I never noticed, but this smells like bubblegum. It smells like bubblegum. It's nice. Now, so now that I've got all the powders on my face, I'm gonna go back in with my sponge and just tap it all into the skin. I find that if I do this, it just really smushes, blends all the products into one another, and they're not just sitting on the skin. And it just softens any harsh lines that I might have gotten. I'm gonna quickly curl my lashes. So now that they're curled, I'm going to take the NARS one today and just attempt to not screw this whole thing up. All right, so about 10 minutes has freaking elapsed since we last chatted. I'm just going to take that same blending brush again and just sort of buff away any of the mascara. Just hope that it disappears and doesn't smudge, because there is definitely little speckles everywhere. I'm gonna go onto lips, and I'm just using my Hourglass liner in the shade Panoramic. No. This whole time I thought that it was in the shade Panoramic, but that's the type of lip liner. It's in the shade Eden. Sorry. Now that I've lined my lips and I've just filled it in, I'm gonna take the little brush on the end and just buff the edges. I personally don't like having really defined lips. I think it makes, I don't know, it just makes me look weird, or at least I think so. So I just buff the edges a bit. I'm gonna take my Hourglass lip pencil. I don't know what they are. It's a lipstick, but it's really nice, soft and creamy. It's in the shade Nude number 5. So I love these lip crayons. They're so creamy, and it's a really nice combination with Eden because they complement each other nicely. But they complement each other. I'm gonna stop talking while doing this because it's gonna happen again. They complement each other really nicely, and the lip crayon's really hydrating as well. And that it's just a little trick I like to do. I just grab a lighter liquid lipstick. I personally don't like liquid lipsticks all over the lips because, like I said, I don't like the because I don't like the defined edge. So I'm just gonna take a lighter shade and just dab it on the center of my lips. And then with my finger, I'm just gonna blend it out. And I think I might be done. I'll just go in with my Morphe Setting Mist again. But other than that, that's all I do. I say it like it hasn't taken me an hour to film this, but honestly in the mornings if I'm doing this, it'll take me 15, 20 tops. My go-to look, I would say it's a little bit more of an elevated, subtle look. It's keeping really natural with the colors, so it's just more enhancing my natural features rather than transforming or doing anything too crazy. Okay, so I guess that must be the end of the video then. Give this a thumbs up if you want to see more makeup content. I definitely want to get into it on my channel because, like I said, I do work at Mecca, and so it's a big part of my life. I'm constantly getting new things at work to try out, so I'm always updating my makeup routine. Yeah, I hope you guys learned something, and if you didn't, I don't really care either. But thanks for watching to the end of the video, and I will see you in my next one. Bye!